Hey, Tony Gaskins here. You know what? We all know it. And a lot of times I'm always talking about men healing, men growing. I did an online revival for men 4 nights in a row, talking about growing and healing and changing that mindset. The sad part about it is that the world reinforces a grown boy mindset, and that the world is being set up for men to destroy ourselves. And every vice that you can think of has always been placed at the hands of men, especially at the hands of men whose ancestors were enslaved physically and then mentally. And then when you have these vices, it continues to send you down the rabbit hole and you're spiraling out of control. And men don't take the time to heal. Instead, we try to sleep around. And what women become is the human teddy bear that maybe that you slept with at 5 years old. You're stuffy. You know, I know this being a father of two boys, they've both had a stuffy, what they call a stuffy, and it's like a stuffed animal of some sort, or these toys, or even video games, different ways that young boys have an outlet. The same thing happens for grown men. But now, instead of needing a stuffed animal or a pet hamster or dog or cat or a video game, grown men are using the hearts and the lives of women. And so what's happening is the thought process of a man that goes from processing his pain and addressing his pain and the root cause of that pain. Instead of doing that deep inner work, men address it at the surface, on a very surface level, and what they are feeling, they try to mask that feeling through different outlets, whether it be a woman or a drug or a habit like gambling. And those temporary highs gives a man some relief. And then once the high is gone, he's back in his reality of unaddressed pain, which then turns into this fragile masculinity. And then ego starts to form. And this ego, which is paraded around as confidence, it is really arrogance, which is rooted in weakness. Because confidence is rooted in humility. So men go around from woman to woman, destroying their lives, the women's lives, and their own lives. And then left hanging in the balance are innocent children who are like bystanders in a drive-by shooting, where a man lies down with a woman repeatedly, searching for a high, seeking pleasure, thinking that pleasure will lead to happiness, not understanding that that form of pleasure only leads to pain when it is rooted in unaddressed issues and pain points that have not been identified. And so what happens is men are going through the motions of doing what it takes to bring a child into the world. But that act is a selfish act, and the goal a lot of times is not a child. And to raise that child with love and respect and responsibility. So this woman who is seeking love falls into the hands of this damaged and broken man. And he does not care about her more than he cares about trying to alleviate his own pain. So he says what she wants to hear. And because she's dealing with her own pain and insecurity, what he says is like music to her ears. So in return, she gives him her body. And she believes that by giving him her body, he will give her his heart. But he is not in a position to accept her heart and to cherish and to nourish her heart because he is heartless. And he is heartless because he refuses to feel. Because to feel reminds him of his reality of pain that he does not know how to address. So what we create is the man code and the man law, and relationships become a war zone where it's me against you, and it's everyone for themselves, and all is fair in love and war. And the war is spiritual, and sometimes it becomes physical, and lives are at stake. And the result becomes broken hearts and broken families. And it all stems from a man who's been placed in the position of power by God and by society. But if a man has power and he does not have self-respect, character, integrity, and self-love, that's a dangerous human being. And so what becomes one of the most dangerous beings on earth is an insecure, broken man. And it leads to gang wars, and it leads to family wars. And instead of addressing it in a very serious manner, we mask it. We sweep it under the rug, and we ignore the pain. But it is time for men to do the healing. Men point the blame at women. Women point the blame at men, and no one wants to be responsible for themselves. Everybody wants the other person to fix them, to fix themselves, instead of looking in the mirror and fixing yourself. So, hey, I'm Tony Gaskins, and I'm doing what I can. I just created a course on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com because I'm not able to work with every single person one-on-one. It's not enough time in the day. So to all the men who you're seeking more out of life, it's a million people telling you how to get rich, how to be a boss in business, how to make money. It's a million people motivating you to get up and go get them. Wake up at 3:30, 4 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m., sleep when you die, hustle, ride till the wheels fall off. Enough of that. Who are you as a man? Where is your heart? Where is your mind? Do you have character? Do you have integrity? Do you have self-respect? Have you learned how to love a woman wholeheartedly without lying, cheating, abusing, manipulating, and deceiving? Are you the example of a man that you want your daughter to see and your son to see? What will the woman in your life and the children you've brought into the world say about you when you're gone? How much pain from your mother, your father, your upbringing have you swept under the rug and not addressed? And how is it showing up in your life today? Hey, it's time for the men to heal in a very real way. Not sensationalized and glamorized, but really locking in and doing the work. Because from that place, all other good things will flow. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.